Hey y'all, it's Jason. This is your Ackerman, your Rockcrusher Challenge pre-race briefing. As always, there will be very short send-off for every single wave for the hundreds, the 50s, the 25s. So watch this either tonight on your couch, in the car, on the way up to the race this weekend, because this is going to be the exhaustive part. So we can all have a great time this weekend. First off, y'all have probably seen the weather. I'm not even going to talk about it. It is a great Rockcrusher miracle this weekend. It looks super fantastic. As always, thanks to all of our partners. We have Lauf, our presenting sponsor. They've been with us for almost since the beginning. We have Kai Takashita, who is a Lauf ambassador, a Lauf employee, and a lifelong gravel rider, racer, raced for Panaracer back in the day, and now races for Lauf. So she's going to be starting with us this weekend. We're pretty excited. Originally from Japan, Chicago, and now lives in Virginia at Lauf's new U.S. distribution center and U.S. headquarters. So we're super stoked to have Kai with us. We also have Trails and Treads supporting us at the aid station. That aid station you guys will hit at mile 28 and 43. Cantu Bikes, John and Vinny will be with us in Bentonia in a couple of weeks, and more. From a local partnership standpoint, Choctaw County partnership, essentially the CVB, or the Convention and Visitors Bureau for and Chamber for Choctaw County and Ackerman. They are hosting us, so the packet pickup on Friday night and on Saturday morning will be at the Choctaw County Partnership, which is just adjacent to downtown. So if you've raced at Rockcrusher over the past couple of years since we moved the start finish to downtown, you'll know right where it is. But it is just adjacent to downtown and linked in the Know Before You Roll email. This race benefits Starkville Cycling Club. So Starkville Cycling Club, they build trails, they advocate for cycling, they put on rides. So a significant part of the proceeds of this race go towards that organization. As we've done this year, only the 25-mile course is going to be fully marked. The 50 and 100, I'll say it's going to be lightly marked, like where there are intersections and whatnot. We'll have some signage just to make sure, especially on like those lollipop returns, to make sure you know where you're going, through the start finish at the beginning and at the end. We'll have that marked just so that there's no confusion. And you can kind of see on this map where the 25 and the 50 overlay. So just like we did for Oxford and Camp Shelby, we'll have specific signs for the 25s, like with those little plastic placards on them that say 25. So 50s and 100s, just know that those are not for you. The route is, if you raced with us at Rockcrusher before, the route is very different this year. So traditionally, we had gone out to the east, but this year, Landon has done tons of scouting to get us up north of town. So there is a whole lot of new climbing and routes up on this north loop before you come back into the south into the finish. All of sort of, I'd say, like the classic climbs for the Rockcrusher race are all still in there in the south on this south loop. Pigeon Roost and all of those. So there will be no lack of climbing in Ackerman this weekend. Aid station, like I mentioned, will be at mile 28 and 43, hosted by Trails and Treads. So you'll hit that either on the way to the North Loop or on the way back in. The aid station is also on the 25-mile route. So the 25-milers, I think they'll hit that around mile, let's just call it 18 or so, on the way back in. Let's see here. Yeah, like right around mile 19 or so. So it'll be a nice little return. As we have done in the past, like one of the sort of the signature sections of the Rockcrusher route is through the Ackerman Country Club. So you will ride back through the golf course on the way back to Webster Road, heading back into town. So that's sort of an overview of the course. So remember, as always, our courses are open courses, so they're not closed. You'll be out there with traffic potentially, although in the Tom Bigby National Forest, you'll probably see very few cars. Up north on that new north section, it's a lot of timberland and hunting camps, so you'll likely not see anybody up there at all. But just keep your head on a swivel, be aware of traffic, ride with a blinky, and follow. And most importantly, like follow the rules of the road. Like be a good cycling citizen, if you will. One thing, and we will post this. We'll put some signage up. There is one section on this new route where you cross Highway 12. So similar to, crossing Highway 30 in Oxford, or at the Bentonia race, if you've done that before, and you cross, Highway 49. Don't blow through it. It's not going to be a controlled intersection. We'll have signs on both sides, reminding you and warning you to not just blow through that intersection, but to check up, look for traffic, and get across it both ways safely. Let's see. A good part of the route is in the Tom Bigby National Forest. Everything is in downtown Ackerman, so some of you may have heard Matthew Nunes closed Boardtown Bikes last year. That's where we had always had the pickup on Friday night before. With Boardtown being closed, we're just moving packet pickup out to Ackerman to kind of keep everything in that home base. So just like as with all races, Friday night, so February 2nd, we'll have packet pickup from 5 to 7, and then bright and early on Saturday morning for the hundreds, we'll open packet pickup around 5:30, and then kind of keep that rolling as we get everybody going. We may make, depending upon weather, on Saturday morning, we'll probably have packet pickup like at the chamber building that I said is like a stone's throw away. Like you can see it from the start finish line. But if it's looking really, really nice out on Saturday morning, we may set up packet pickup at the start finish line, just to kind of make it easier logistically for us. Don't forget to sign the waiver. Everybody should have that in their inbox from DocuSign. The hundreds, we'll do 2 laps of the same course. They will come back through the start-finish line between laps. So not only will they have the opportunity to hit the aid station on course twice on their way up to the North Loop and back, they'll also have the opportunity to resupply from their vehicles. We'll have some neutral water and and whatnot, like at the start finish. So you guys will be able to resupply all sorts of places on course. Food at noon. So Stephanie and Tony, of course, again, are coming out to support us with amazing food. This is actually sort of like their local race, or the closest race for them. They actually live up in Eupora, like a small town in that area of like Ackerman, Starkville, Sturgis area. So luckily for them, it's their closest race to home, and we always appreciate them coming out and cheering us on, building new friendships, and of course, like feeding us amazing food. Race plates. Remember, bring your race plate if you have raced with us previously. If you have gotten swaps, through the series, maybe you lost your first one and had to get a replacement. When you check in, please let us know like what number you're racing with. So if you started with 132, but it flew off of your bike on the way home from Oxford, and we reissued you 429. Just make sure when you're checking in, they know what race number you're racing with if you've had a replacement. If you did lose yours, and or forgot it, coming up to Ackerman this weekend, $10 replacement fee as always. Don't bend, cut, tear, wrap these around head tubes or the chips won't pick up. Finisher patches, of course. Don't forget to get your wristband at check-in for food. And the swag for this week, you guys know that I'm a big fan of like having stuff that you'll actually use, is this lovely gravel cup cooler. It is perfectly sized for post-race refreshments, so you can fit a 6-pack in there, not included, although of course we will have beer and drinks and whatnot after the race for you to sit and chill and have fun with. But a nice little piece of usable swag for y'all to take home with you. So super stoked about Ackerman. We are like incredibly excited about the weather this weekend, which just kind of like improved as the week went on. The email that we got from Kent, our meteorologist this morning, said that storm is moving even further south. So that'll mean less wind, slightly higher temperatures, and probably a little bit more sunshine peeking through scattered clouds on Saturday throughout the day. So we're super excited. Wendy, Landon, and I, all the volunteers, Trails and Treads, the city of Ackerman, the National Forest Service, and Tom Bigby National Forest. Like, we're super excited to have everybody this weekend, and we will see you in Ackerman.